You guys remember a little while ago there was this video about airsoft being banned in Canada?
Perhaps the most bizarre part of Bill C-21 is that it goes after airsoft guns. As it stands, Bill C-21 will ban outright all airsoft guns, most BB guns, and some paintball models in Canada as well.
Well, get yourself a refreshment, boys, because it's time to celebrate. That's because our good old friend Justin Trudeau has decided to call an election, which means Bill C-21 is dead. And if Bill C-21 is dead, that means that airsoft is not dead. Or, well, like a 25% chance airsoft's not dead. Now, I know this isn't exactly the gameplay I was getting ready to release today, but it's important information, and I implore you to try and follow along with what I'm saying. I'm going to try and make it as simple as I can, but it's important if you don't want airsoft to get banned in Canada or your country. Maybe you learned something. Alright, so Justin Trudeau called an election. What does that mean for Bill C-21? Well, in Canada, when the acting Prime Minister dissolves Parliament or calls an election, all the bills on the House floor that are being debated get killed. They're dead. In the situation of Bill C-21, that's a really good thing, because that means that the bill that was going to ban airsoft is no longer even on the table. So, effectively, step number one in protecting airsoft, getting rid of Bill C-21, is done. But boys, now we get into the sad news. So this election basically cost Canadians about $610 million, which is kind of a little bit of money. You might be thinking to yourself, hey, well, that's good. There was an election, a whole bunch of stuff changed, and now airsoft is protected. Well, this is your first time talking politics, isn't it? Because no, the government basically didn't change at all. So everybody who's on board with protecting airsoft is still on board with protecting airsoft, but the people who wanted to ban it are still pretty much on board with banning it. Hey, if all these people are wanting to ban airsoft, why don't you try and change some of their minds? Talk to some of them. Well, I've been trying to reach my member of parliament since February of this year, and this is usually how it goes.
Hi, Dayton. Cynthia here.
Hi, Cynthia.
Hi. I am really apologetic. I'm sorry that I have not gotten back officially to you yet, and the reason is that we are just struggling under the load here.
The man's got a country to run. Of course he's busy. Well, of course I'd just call back next week, right? They would definitely make sure that before they did anything else, they got back to me after months and months and months and months of calling, right?
Hey, Dayton, are you still there?
Yep, still here.
Yeah, I'm thinking through. I think we've actually spoken before.
I think we may have touched once or twice. I've called quite a few times.
So as it would happen, Cynthia's actually on vacation this week.
Oh, she's running away from me. How am I supposed to keep her on top of this?
Well, you're doing the right thing by calling us.
And remember, this is after months and months and months of being told.
Take care and have a good weekend. I probably won't get back to you today, but I will certainly talk to you next week.
All right, sounds good. We'll talk to you later on.
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Joke's on me, I guess, because they've never called me. In reality, I do appreciate these people taking my phone call, but at the same time, I would like to get an actual response to the questions that I had about, them wanting to ban airsoft. And I did not expect to get the answer that I got from asking them this. What, if you don't mind me asking, what is it that's preventing me from being able to actually make an appointment? Because I assume other people, if they want to speak to him, are able to make an appointment in the future.
Right.
Why am I not able to do that?
It's a good question.
Because I've been contacting you guys since like the start of February, and I've been very polite every time I've called, and I've been I've worked with you guys a lot, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of getting tired of hearing we'll call you next week, because every single time we have spoken, Cynthia and I have spoken, it's been a phone call I've initiated, it's ended in the same we'll call you next week, and I mean, I can be polite, and I'm trying to be, but I'm also kind of getting bothered. Oh, Dayton, you're a little bothered? You're a little bit bothered there, Dayton? Well, yeah, week after week of being told we'll call you next week, that'll happen, but good news is this call ended differently.
All right, Dayton, I appreciate this, all right?
Yeah, all right, well, we'll see you next week, I suppose.
Okay, all right, take care.
See ya. Joke's on them, because I called them back next week, not them calling me. So up to date, I have no idea how my member of parliament was planning on voting for this bill. I imagine he supported it, but I don't know, because I never got a hold of him or got his opinion from the people in his office. But enough about me complaining about not getting enough attention. What is going to happen to airsoft in Canada? So we don't know exactly how this is going to unfold in the future, but I can tell you basically the steps that they're going to take and what we're going to have to do. Number one, because Bill C-21 is gone, one of the more liberal parties, probably the Liberal Party, is going to introduce a new gun legislation bill. This bill will be under a different name, not Bill C-21, but it's going to be basically the same idea because they were so adamant on passing it the first time they introduced it. What does that mean for us? That means that we're now going to basically have to relive the past year of our life worrying about airsoft being destroyed, but it's got a new flashy name, and we don't know what the name is yet, but it's not going to be Bill C-21, it's going to be something called like Bill C and then another number. They're not very imaginative with the bill names. Now, all that being said, there is a silver lining. Number one, yes, okay, there's probably going to be another bill that comes in that tries to ban airsoft, but this time we know the MPs who are on our side, we know the people who will speak up for us, and there are hundreds of YouTube channels and thousands of people from around the world echoing our voice, making sure that people know that airsoft is not something that you need to be afraid of. It's a beautiful sport that thousands of people play around Canada, and we do it safely, and we want to keep doing it safely. Now, to finish this video off, I want to give you a quick 30-second recap because I know it was a lot. Number one, Parliament was dissolved. That means that the bill is off the floor. There's no more Bill C-21. We don't have to worry. Next thing up is going to be the next gun restriction bill that's going to have airsoft in it, that's going to try to ban it. We got to keep our eyes open for that, but the good news is we spent a year fighting this already. We know what we're going to do when they reintroduce it. We're going to have to fight it again for another year, probably more. But just before this video finishes, I want to pose you guys with a question. Now, I know in the gun debate world, there's often a connection drawn between weapons and vehicles, and how people can cause damage with vehicles just like they can with weapons. And to be honest, I really don't like that connection because they're two vastly different things, but at the same time, I want to pose you with this. Everybody knows that driving a vehicle can be dangerous, and everybody has been out on the streets on the highway and seen someone driving a little bit too fast. And in the real world, street racing is a thing, and it costs people their lives, and it's a very dangerous thing. But for those people who enjoy driving their vehicle quick, we give them the opportunity to do that in a legal way. We build them racetracks. We say if you want to drive fast, bring your vehicle here. Pay $20 and you can race your car around a track safely. To break that down, effectively the government said, okay, we understand that people have a desire to break the speed limits and drive their cars fast and put people in danger. And when that puts people in danger, that's a no good thing. So, we will allow people to open up racetracks where people can exercise their interest in driving fast in a safe fashion. To liken that to the airsoft world, basically what the government has said is we understand that people have an underlying interest in firearms, and that firearms are dangerous. For those of you who have found a 100% safe alternative to firearms, a way to exercise your interest in firearms in a 100% safe way, you've found airsoft fields to play, you've put in all the safety precautions to not get hurt, but you're not responsible enough to do that. Instead, they're going to ban airsoft guns as we know it today, and they're going to say you are responsible enough to own a real firearm and to get your license, but you're not responsible enough to go out to an airsoft field with your friends and family and play with an airsoft gun that allows you to exercise your interest in firearms in a 100% safe manner. Anyways, I hope this video didn't get too political for you guys. I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments section down below. I got a lot more phone calls ahead of me and a lot more talking to do, but I appreciate you guys sticking with me through all this, and don't you worry, I'm going to be giving you updates as soon as I know information. To the next year, eh? Let's do it.